Are you vegan?
No.
Okay, cool, because I brought you this one.
Actually, you know what? This is my favorite kind of candy. Of all time.
Like
Star
the
Mix.
Star Mix?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's serious. I was very surprised when I saw it. I was like, I hope he's going to offer me.
I thought it was just be like a great thing, like, oh, how funny a Star Mix, you know?
But it is seriously, it is my favorite.
That is great. Okay, well, cool. I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad you like it. Wait, I need a pen before you get this started. Everyone, welcome to the very first edition of Erasmusik's Jamspread. I'm Nikos, your host, and this is my host. This is Mö, right?
Yeah, Mö.
Like, I read that it's what Norwegians call a cow sound.
Yeah, that's right.
Why would you call yourself like that?
Well, I come from Denmark, and in Denmark the cow says moo, but apparently in Norway the cow says moo.
Okay.
So that's a mistake.
Plus, it looks much cooler with, you know, the O and the line in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like that. I mean, you know, the Ö is like an old Danish letter, so it's, yeah, I just find it cool.
So, you've been touring quite a lot.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
Well, like, all this year? Or just on this tour?
How much do you want to let us know? I mean,
we've been touring like almost all year, so yeah, we've been a lot of places.
Okay. You did South by Southwest.
Yeah,
that's a pretty huge festival.
Yeah, and it's amazing. That was probably the best thing we did this year. I mean, South by Southwest was awesome.
Okay, cool. And did you have like a crazy experience there? Did you meet crazy creative people and team up, or because you had some pretty cool features on with your singles, like with Diplo remixes or Miss Mister, no, MSMR?
Yeah.
What do you call them?
Okay. Miss Mister, yeah.
So, how did that happen? How did it go?
Well, Miss Mister we actually met like last year in December, I think, for the first time, because we were supporting them in London. And we just became friends. And we hang out with them like in London like 3 days ago or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
When did you start all this, you know, like performing or singing, songwriting? When did you start it? Like, when did you know that you want to be that?
Well, actually, it was already when I was 7 years old and I had my first record. I was just, okay, now I know what I want to do when I grew up, you know. So I just started making music from that very early age. Okay. I was 7 or something. So I was like, at that time, just, okay, this is my passion, this is what...
That's pretty early, though. I mean, I have a friend who knew she was going to be an astrophysician since she was 13. But 7 is really early.
Yeah, but you know, at that time, the first record I ever got was Spice Girl, and I was just like, oh, I want to be like them, you know. I was, just a kid. So, but then it just stuck, this dream about making music and touch people, you know. Like I felt that Spice Girls touched me back then, you know. So I was like, okay, that's what I want to do.
Too bad they're not around anymore. I mean, you know. Evil off. Okay. Describe to me the feeling of being the favorite of many, many music blogs and sites, and of touring around. But describe for me the feeling of being like the rising and riding this huge hype wave.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm very, very honored that this has happened to me. I mean, it's hard for me to actually understand all that. I mean, like it's so weird that so many blogs and that have been supporting from so early on, and that people have been so positive to this project, because it's music business is very hard to so but still, I mean, I'm very, very happy and honored with all this love, but I still feel like I have a lot to prove. I haven't really released anything but an EP, so I think there's a lot of things to achieve yet.
Okay. I was about to ask this question later, but because so many people have asked you this question, and I'm kind of hesitant, like, when is the album finally coming out?
Well, I don't have the final date, but it'll be out early next year.
Cool. So, do you think it took that long because you personally are a perfectionist, or because the management said, no, we need to release it later? Like, why?
Yeah. No, it's actually no. We've been touring all this year, as I said, and being in studio at the same time, and Yeah, and it takes time to sorry, I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist, but it's more like you want this, you want the songs to be right, and every time you wrote a new song, you're like, I have this new one in the back of my head. I wanna, can we make this done and have it on the album? Like, it has been like that all year. Like, okay, just one more. Like
how many bonus tracks are we allowed to feature? You know,
there are pretty many.
I guess so. So actually, you have enough material for 2 LPs already, but you're being modest.
I don't know, but it's also because then it changes. Then it's like, oh no, I don't like this anymore. Now I like this, blah blah blah. So it's just, but seriously, we are almost there. Really,
that's cool. That's cool. You mentioned that music business is really hard, and like not really hard, but it's kind of tough though.
It is tough, and it changes all the time. You have to be sharp and all the time, So it's just.
And how do you handle this? I mean, I perceive that you always have to be very rise and shine, even if you don't feel like it. How do you, stay honest? How do you deal with that?
Actually, I think the thing that I just think a lot about is that no matter what I do or where I am or who I'm talking to, you just really have to be yourself. Because, it's easy to take a bath and dress up and be, but I think the most important thing for everybody in the world is to see something that's true. Not like, but you should just be yourself. That's the most important thing, I think.
So,
oh my God, this candy.
This is my apology, like if I make some grave mistakes, I can still remind you, like I brought you Star Mix, so I'm not even getting paid for this, I just, that's just how I am, I don't know. When people and journalists compare you, I read comparisons about you, like in Grimes, about Lickily, about Lana Del Rey. What do you feel? Do you feel flattered, or do you feel annoyed, or do you feel pressure, or don't you care at all?
No, I get very, very, again, honored that people would compare me with great acts like these, but, it's, if I was to describe an upcoming act, what else would I do than compare this new artist with some more established? So it's just, that's just fine. People can compare me to whatever they like. There's almost everything I've heard. There's always, I can see some similarities, so I understand why they do that. And I get very flattered also, yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a really positive way to deal with that, actually, because, there are a few that don't like it. In your clips for Glass and also for Waste of Time, you come off as really tough and badass and, I don't know, just, really cool, but like in this way.
Thanks.
But I already found out you like Star Mix, so which is really cool too. But I already found out you like this?
Yeah.
So are you a badass? Like, are you mean to people or?
No, I'm not. I'm not mean to people.
Obviously you wouldn't say that. Just kidding.
Of course, yeah. No, but I would always be kind to people if they were kind to me.
Yeah. That's a honest policy. It makes sense. There's this one line in Glass. Actually, it was the first song I ever heard from you. So there was this one line that really made a click. It was like, I would sing it to you, but it would suck. It goes, I should?
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't.
Okay.
It's like, oh, what do everyone has to grow up.
Yeah.
Okay, and I did it. Yeah.
You did it.
For you.
On camera.
So, do you perceive growing up as something bad, and if so, do you think we have a choice? You're 25, I'm 23. Is there?
Yeah, no, we don't have a choice, obviously. But it's more like, because I think actually it's not a bad thing growing old, but it's more like, it's more the nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
All the good times, like, oh fuck, always, the older you get, the more memories you have to live with is over, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you have to deal with the fact that those days are never coming back.
Yeah.
Also when I was 12, I maybe longed for when I was 10 and were in Disneyland or something like that. It can be anything. Like, you just, the nostalgic thing, the feeling you always want what you haven't got anymore or what you can't have, or just you always want to be young and shining. It's just all these things you want because of our human brains.
I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean because I was cleaning up my room and I found like this box with, you know, this little box was containing like 10 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know exactly the feeling. But you don't feel like society is pressing us into some certain role, like to be, you know, old or definition?
Yeah, the society is pressing us in all directions and blah, blah, blah. But the song is written like more of the personal, like, longing for something you don't have anymore.
Okay. We said that you're touring a lot. Are you the type of traveler who feels really homesick all the time, or do you adjust to your surroundings just fine, to your surroundings?
I've actually always been a very homesick person. When I was small, I couldn't bear to go on a camp with my school without crying and being like, oh, I want to go home to my mom and dad. but this tour life, it's just, I find it so easy to adjust to it, and I really, really love it, actually. So, no, not really. I mean, I miss my friends and my parents and stuff, but no, I really like it. I really like it.
That's great. I mean, you're just being grateful and no big deal and just enjoying the moment.
Very much. You should be grateful, you know.
Okay. You're from a small town, I read.
Yeah.
How was it growing up in a small town in contrast to living all this today, like the big fuzz?
Well, of course it's very, very different, and sometimes when I think about it, it's like, whoa, it's so crazy that all this is happening. But on the other hand, as I said, when I was already a little girl, you know, I was, you know, wandering around in this small city and just, you know, walking and singing and dreaming about I wanted to be a pop star. So in a way, it's also like, you know, it makes sense to me that I do this because this is what I've always wanted, you know. And by that, not saying that, oh, I've achieved my dreams, you know, I'm just on a journey, you know. But I mean, I mean, of course, I hope that it will continue in going well, you know. But you never know. But it feels good.
I'm glad. Actually, you're all set. Do you have any last words or anything you really want to tell people? You know, anything. Just, it doesn't even have to be an answer to a certain question. Just
shit, I always get this one, and every time
really?
and every time I'm like, oh, I should have thought of something, but I haven't thought of anything. I know, but no, I haven't got anything. Sorry.
So you're all happy?
I'm all good. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good thing. I wish it goes on for you like that forever. Just, you know.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so what time is it? Oh, you still got 5 minutes until your sound check.
No, our sound check's over.
Oh.
It's dinner. It's dinner.
Dinner. So what are you going to eat? Are you going to eat like something Swiss or?
I think so, because they'll bring food here. I think we're eating in this house, so I hope that someone has compared something nice and Switzerlandic.
Okay.
Or how does it switch?
Swiss, right?
Swiss.
Is it Swiss or Swiss? No, it's not Switzerlandic. It's Swiss.
Something nice and Swiss.
Okay, that's cool. So, thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for having me. And thanks for our stuff.
Yeah, very, very welcome. And that was it, guys. That was the first audition of Jamspread with Mö and Nikos. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
My desires ravaging in me as the purple mass stardust light that